podcast you're about to listen to is from a book series on post-qualitative, new materialist, and critical post-humanist research. I'm Karin Murris and chief editor of this new Routledge series. You can find it on the following website, www.postqualitativeresearch.com. This chapter is from In Conversation with Karen Barad, Doings of Agential Realism, edited by Karin Murris and Vivienne Bozalek. The book In Conversation with Karen Barad engages from multiple entry points with a two-day research seminar in 2017 in Cape Town. The event was organized by the Decolonizing Early Childhood Discourses Project, and Karen Barad, as distinguished professor at the University of Santa Cruz in California and a member of this project, was visiting the Western Cape and asked whether they could do anything for the project. And of course, we jumped to this opportunity. And Karen self-identifies as they, by the way, so we will be referring to they as we go along. So Karen came to Noordhoek and a conference center called Monkey Valley, where they presented two papers from their then recent work on spatial and temporal diffractions. And emerging researchers, including Viv's and my own PhD students, also had an opportunity to present our own post-humanist research in progress. Now, the seminar started by inviting all participants, introducing themselves by picking one or two images from a range of laminated images, artwork, photos from magazines and cartoons, some with words on the back. It's sort of I've been collecting over the years and I've been using in my teaching. Karen Barad picks a card with an image of a boat on the sea. So this is in the introduction of the book, and explains it as follows. Because of the wind, and because of what we don't normally see, because the wind is very much interacting with the waves. Everybody knows that who has spent time out there surfing like this with a big sail that is also transparent as well as opaque. At the back of the card is the word hope, but also in much small letters in the left top corner, you might be able to see making connections. Later on, Karen comments how powerful this pedagogy was in us connecting up, as a starting point for an academic seminar. All our conversations were videotaped, and returning to these tapes has co-created our book, making new connections as we were returning. Of course, the concept of new, in inverted comma, is troubled in agential realism, as this assumes a break with the past. In the introduction to the book, there's a QR code with one of the influential papers Karen performed during the seminar. Viv and I were very familiar with Barad's spatial diffraction as methodology when the seminar started. And the first paper they performed is Diffracting Diffraction of 2014. Diffractive readings create new, in inverted comma, insight by merging ideas as waves do when they encounter an obstruction in the sea. Let's not talk about obstructions in the sea at the moment, or as they overlap, combine and interfere with each other in what is known as a superposition. So this is a quote from Barad's Meeting the Universe Halfway, page 79. What we had less appreciated was how diffraction also includes diffracting times and places through one another. As Barad explains, boundaries don't hold. Barad's diffractive methodology for teaching and research is itself an interference pattern. It was created by reading quantum field theory and feminist social justice through one another diffractively. This is ontologically very different from referring to the scholarship of others in the field in a typically academic way. This usually assumes that you're at an ontological distance from bodies of literature, having a bird's eye point of view, hovering over fields, creating an overview by comparing, contrasting, juxtaposing, or looking for similarities and themes. The second paper Karen performed during the seminar was called Troubling Times, and followed not by a Q&A session, but to their surprise, by a community of philosophical inquiry session. As Karen stands outside the circle, they listen with great care to people's questions and respond to them. Some of these responses are included in the book. Guided by an art educator, Teresa Josa, also an author of the book, at the end of the seminar, there's plenty of opportunity to also let various materials respond to the emerging complexifying ideas presented.
We're reminded of how Karen Barad's Agential realism is rapidly gaining traction across disciplines in higher education. Research inspired by Agential realism can be challenging and difficult to access, and the idea of editing this book was that we wanted to provide accessible ways of engaging with Agential realism through responses to informal conversations with Karen Barad that are diffractively woven through the chapters. What was important for us was that a large quantity of the text is written by postgraduate students, some of whom have now graduated, whose chapters offer examples of Agential realism's use in various contexts and disciplinary backgrounds. In this way, the book provides an opportunity for both emerging and more established scholars to show how such an event could have an ongoing rippling effect on their work and thinking. The book is also written to inspire alternative pedagogies and ways of organizing research seminars, more in line with its philosophy, a doing of posthumanism in the organization of events. More particularly, the book provides fresh insights into complex and contentious concepts such as temporal and spatial diffraction, the void, agential separation, entanglement and decolonization, and largely, but not solely, in a South African location. And as I said, it's written in accessible ways for readers to think with and to be affected by.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. If you would like to know more about this chapter, please visit the website www.postqualitativeresearch.com. And please stay tuned for future podcasts.